Hi everyone, thanks for joining. I'm Arjun Maharishi from PE Front Office. We are an end-to-end integrated solution for the alternative investment management industry. We offer solutions ranging from deal flow management to investment management, to portfolio monitoring, to investor relations management, to fund administration. Uh, for today's session, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Anup Kumar Adlakha, who's the founder and CEO of PE Front Office. Before we begin this session, I'd like to highlight that it is structured in two parts. First, there will be a 20-minute talk by Anup, followed by a 10-minute question and answer round. You can type your questions in the chat, and we'll try to answer as many questions as possible within the given time frame. If we are not able to take any questions due to time constraints, then we'll reach out to you separately. I'll now hand over to Anup, to take this further.
Okay, I'm just trying. Excellent, thank you. I'm unable to share my screen. If somebody can enable that. Okay, fantastic. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay, fantastic. I think we are online now completely on this one. So good afternoon, everyone. And I think thanks to SAVCA, I'm getting this opportunity to speak to all of you. And Arjun, thanks for your kind introduction. So, today we're going to talk about how technology can facilitate the VC investment process to enhance the operational efficiency. Now, let me just quickly jump onto which is saying that when we say the VC or a PE firm's investment process, then what do we mean by that? So it's about reiterating the facts back to you. But the reason I wanted to highlight these key operational areas before I get into technology is so that we can talk about how we can improve the efficiency in many of these areas. So at a very high level, if you look at a fund, whether it's a VC or a PE fund, you're raising the funds from the investors, then you're tracking the investor commitments, you're managing the investor relations, okay, and then you get on to prospecting the deals, and then going to the complete due diligence process, and then committing to the deals. And once you commit to the deals, you're talking about managing your investments, whether in the form of equity, debt, your cash flows, your valuations. Then you're tracking your IRRs, multiples of cost, and then it comes to monitoring underlying financials, KPIs, ESG parameters, okay, and then churning out the quarterly report to the investors. Okay, and finally, we're talking about making the when you're doing a drawdown or distributions to the investors, the investor reporting, the investor communication. So in a nutshell, I just want to highlight at a very high level the key operational areas of a VC and a PE firm, which is there. Okay, now how do we make so the question arises is that even before we talk about technology to enhance the operational efficiency, what technology is being used by the VC and PE firms? Okay, I have been saying this for a long time, but then I'm going to rely on a survey recently conducted by SAVCA, okay, in the South African landscape, which is there. And it throws out very interesting facts, which is there. The one thing which you will notice over here is the prominence of Excel. Okay, you will see that Excel is everywhere. And that's the reality today. Okay, Excel still continues to be used by more than 95% of the firms, okay, for their managing their data, managing their process, for reporting and everything which is there. It's all on Excel. Now, so, you'll be surprised that, okay, though there will be VC firms or PE firms investing in the fintech sector, but the technology used by them, Excel. And and this leads to a lot of this thing. So that is one. Second thing you will see is that people who are even moving on to the next tier, which is like they start using a software. The first thing they may go for is cloud storage, like whether it's a Google Drive or a Dropbox or OneDrive, or then they may go for a deal flow or an investor portal, or a separately accounting software. So there are this separate solutions being provided by separate firms, and they go and select one and try to use that technology which is there. So it's a completely it's the very few end-to-end solutions available for this market, which is being used by the firms. Okay, so that leads us to this thing. This is what I was trying to say, that majority of the VC firms still use Excel as a primary tool. Okay, and the second is that different solutions used by some VC firm to manage overall investment process. Now, and also there's a use of generic productivity tools by the VC firms, in the sense that the tools, let's say for example, a lot of them are using Salesforce, for example, for managing their deals or managing their investor relations. The tools which are not meant for the VC firms. Okay, so what happens? You're using Excel, no single source of truth. Let's assuming you want to have a report or whatever which is there, where these numbers came from, and everyone is searching, oh, which Excel, which is the right Excel. Okay, there's a lack of real-time analysis. Okay, you want to look at data across different portfolio companies, investments, or across investor. It's very difficult to get a consolidated view of data. Errors, you send out a report to investors, and suddenly you realize there's a simple copy and paste error. Okay, higher reporting timelines. Okay, and there's a lack of VC specific process. So the due diligence process or the deal stage or deal workflow process, which is different. This is what each VC thinks differently. Then how is that modeled into a solution? It's just there. Data loss and security. So there are too many issues which stems from using Excel or using a solutions which are not meant for VC firms, or using the staggered solutions for each process, different process of a VC firm. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of using technology? And when I say technology, I'm not just talking about using technology for one part of a VC process. Let's say for a deal flow, or sending email communication, or sending reports. We're talking about specifically an end-to-end integrated solution, which is that from day one, you've launched your fund, okay, you are prospecting the investors, you're doing the fundraising, or whether deal flow, committing to the portfolio company or investment, and then managing that investment, monitoring, reporting, compliances, everything. There's one solution which can do it all. So basically, the different parts of your team, whether it's an investor relations team, whether it's a deal management team, investment management team, everyone logs into the same solution, do their part, and you're able to get a very high level consolidated view, easy reporting. You can issue access to investors, they can log in, they can look at it, advantages, single source of truth. There's one, right? Quick and easy reporting. You're able to get a consolidated reporting, secure data storage and access. Then there's the institutional memory. This point is very important. A lot of times when I go and speak to people, they've been managing deals on Excel and everything. And let's say 2 years back, a deal comes back again, the same deal, but you already lost. The person who was handling the deal, let's say 2 years ago, has already left the organization. You don't know anything about what happened 2 years back. So there's an institutional memory. Everything remains in this thing, whether it is the meetings which happened, the meeting notes. You're able to have a tailored process workflow for each VC. Each VC can define how their process works. information on the go, whether it's mobile phone, whether it's your, laptop, tab. You're able to access the information wherever you want at the click of a single button. So it's a lot of this thing, quick, easy data capture. You want to do portfolio monitoring. Now, how do we do it? How do you get the data, like financials and KPI from your portfolio companies? They will send you Excel sheets or PDF files. How do they get? How do you analyze? Here, very simple. Give access to your portfolio companies. They log into the solution. They upload the data, and you are able to do analysis immediately for that portfolio company across portfolio company. So there's a lot of advantages of using technology. Okay, and when we talk about technology, then, as we talk about at a high level, now let's look at specifically to operational efficiency. And when we're talking about, it's a very high level. I've tried to give overview. So with respect to the each investment process, the whole life cycle, I've tried to see what can be done. Let's start with, for example, deal flow. The first, the challenge which comes is, let's assuming if deals are coming in, how do you capture that deals? It's, if it is not there, people are calling you, people are sending you emails and everything which is there, then how do you do it? Here, you're able to do it through a web form, email, mobile, whichever way. The idea is to catch as many prospects as easily possible into the system. And then you're able to have your custom deal stage and due diligence workflow. Whether it's from a prospect to a pre-IC to IC stage, okay, or before that, it was screening, the final IC, the way, each VC thinks differently. That's their, how they differentiate themselves from another VC, how they do due diligence, what are the checklists they follow. So they can have their own custom stuff within a technology solution. Okay, you're able to do a deal analysis at a click of a button. Then once you invest in a deal, okay, managing the investment, you are able to manage different tranches via different instrument types, whether you're doing through equity, preference share, convertible notes, debt, different kinds of debt. You're able to manage everything under one heading. Okay, once you do that, you're able to manage, actual cash flows, expected cash flows, valuations. At a click of a button, you have automated IRR calculations, all those stuff. Portfolio monitoring, as I talked about, earlier, you're able to track custom financial KPIs, ESGs, checklist parameters for each portfolio company. At the same time, you're able to have a consolidated view across your whole portfolio. What is the total revenue of your, all the portfolios? What is the job opportunities created by your portfolio companies? So, all that analysis is able to help. You can issue self-service logins to your portfolio companies to manage this or upload this data. Okay, to the investors, automated quarterly reports, performance reports. Again, as I said, once everything is set, template is set, the cycle which normally otherwise takes almost 30 days to complete, you're able to do it very quickly at a click of a button again. Okay, on the investor side, fundraising, managing the complete fundraising, track investor meetings, notes, where are you traveling, investor commitments, multiple fund closes. You can have investor data rooms. It becomes easy to exchange documents. With a DocuSign integration, you don't even have to get the physical signatures. You're able to manage everything online. Okay, including, let's say, the KYCs and everything which is happening at the fundraising level. Once the investor is on board, then you're talking about, if you're talking about real-time investor-specific investment performance, which investors can see their IRR, their NAV, their capital account statements, any communication you're doing. Okay, and from a, this slightly falls the fund administration into the back office, but you're talking about how to send the drawdown and the distribution notices and how easy it is to generate them. Okay, with the adoption of technology, where you reduce the errors and at the same time you're able to track it completely. Okay, you can capture your fund cost to get the gross and the net IRRs. So the idea is that currently this everything is lying in the Excel or somewhere remote, somewhere which is there. And it's very becomes difficult as the fund starts, growing from a small fund to a big fund, from 5 portfolio companies to many more portfolio companies, to get the right data, get the right analysis. It impacts your investment decisions, it impacts reporting to the investors, a lot of stuff. Under risk and compliance, for example, you can have ILPA compliant reports. Specifically, the US and European markets are moving towards this completely. Investors are expected from their GPs to send them ILPA compliant reports, which is there. So a lot of areas. So what I've done is I've tried to focus on which are the areas which can really affect. I've not gone into the top end of technology, how AI and all those things is helping. That's a discussion for another day. But on core areas, the key areas, how technology can enhance the operational efficiency, which is there. Okay, and that's where I stop. I think it's almost 20 minutes for me. And happy to answer any questions anyone has. Yeah, let me go. I'm just reading the chat and I'm just going and this thing. Yes, we have been in South African market now for almost, I think, 3 to 4 years. We have, I think, 6 South African clients as of date. The earliest one we had signed up in 2019. And so I hope that was Chanel Sukha. And then we have the next question. With regards to technology adoption, what should be the starting point for a mid-sized VC firm? Okay, mid-sized VC firm, it all depends on, so there are 2 things which I say. That one, when you're looking for a solution, you should look for a solution which is an end-to-end solution. That means it covers all the investment processes which you're looking at it. Then at that point of time, what is your need, critical need, whether you're in the fundraising or you see the deal flow is there, or you're managing a large number of portfolio. So you can start with specific modules which you think is becoming a problem area for you to manage, and Excel is not the right one. And then slowly by slowly, you can move on to the other modules or other functionality or other processes, so that over a period of time, you can manage the whole thing. Okay, sure. So the cost. So cost is something. One thing which is very clear is that a solution has to be a low risk. Okay, specifically a PE fund who is there, large PE funds can manage large cycles. They can manage, let's say, a 3 to 6 months to a year implementation cycle. They can spend like hundreds and 200,000 or $500,000, and they have big teams. For a VC, it's very important to keep the cost very low. Okay, and so without getting into too much of numbers at this point of time, but the risk needs to be low. The implementation cycle has to be very quick, so that the solution is up and running in less than, let's say, 15 to 30 days time. You're able to see, you're able to use. I think those are things needs to be kept in mind. Okay, so that's there. We do provide Pan-Africa support on this thing. Okay, South Africa as well as a Pan-Africa support. In the respective time zones, we provide the support very clearly in the business working hours. What is your payment model for the software subscription basis, affordable for first-time managers? So basically, what we do is we give a subscription model, which is like a per month subscription model. That's again, as I said, to keep the risk low. So you're not committing too much of money upfront. Okay, and then swing. So you can look at it, this thing, you can use the software, and then that's what is there. So it's a per month subscription. And for large fund, we do offer outright purchase also options. So both the options are there. SaaS subscription, monthly subscription, or outright purchase. What are some points that a VC firm should consider before choosing a tech solution, as I talk about it. Low risk, end-to-end solution, but modular, so that a VC firm can select what they want to implement first, but at the same time have the option to go for a complete solution based on their own pace, which is there. Low risk, cost, implementation time frame should not be there. Support should be available in the local time zone. I'll say these are the ones. And also one of the key things I will say is also the flexibility to configure or customize their process into the software. You don't want to buy a software which is not flexible enough to reflect your own, let's say, due diligence process or deal stages, or how you manage the investment in the software. It should be flexible enough at the same time, which is there. Okay, next one is, how much involvement does the fund manager have in terms of use and support? Are they already built in models? Yeah, absolutely. So let me talk about the PE front office or the solution. How much involvement does the fund manager have in terms of use and support? So the way it is there is, in my personal experience, I was, chief technology officer for 7 years for Actis, a large PE fund which is there. So I was on that side of the table. So when I found PE front office, I realized that I don't expect much from the VC teams, because their core expertise is managing investments. Okay, so that I don't expect to be project managers or IT managers on the VC firm. So the way we work is, the fund manager, we work, okay, you know your process, you share your process with us, and we will configure the same in the software. So once it is configured and everything, you use the software. Okay. And we take care of the support, that if you face any issues, technical issues. But trust me, we have been in this for last 8 years. No VC fund or no PE fund which uses our software has any complaints or issues. The way we work is that we give the names and do your reference calls, and which is there. Okay. Are there already built-in models? Absolutely. So we have inbuilt already models. We take care of different, in terms of 80-20, if you look at it, is what is the 80% of the industry which uses it? It's already there. There's a 40 inbuilt reports, analysis, models, analytics, and then also we also understand that you can't just throw the Excel away. So we have a very nice integration with Excel that, for a lot of quick analysis, you can get the data into a predefined custom Excel models, and you're able to quickly do analysis over there. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. So that's what is there, and so we do have now 80 plus customer across the globe who are using this software, and it's just been 8 years since inception. I can say that. Thank you. So I hope I've been able to answer most of your questions. Any others, please feel free to ask. Well, thank you. I think SAVCA has, where can someone contact you if they want more info? Sure. I think my ID is anup@pfrontoffice.com. Let me just mention over there also. Well, thank you. Thanks, everyone. And as I said, I think SAVCA team will also share this presentation with you. So you can go through it, and if any questions, please do email it to me, and I'll be happy to answer them at a later stage. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.